Hello and welcome to episode 4 of the Sports Wire. I'm Andrew Youngworth.
I'm Tyler Pinero.
We got a lot to get into, so let's get right into it. As promised, the Stanley Cup and the NBA Finals are continuing to not disappoint. So let's get right into Sum It Up.
All right, first thing we need to talk about here on Sum It Up is Game 2 of the NBA Finals. The Thunder were able to bounce back and even up the series at one game apiece with a big 20-point win over the Indiana Pacers. SGA led the way with 34, 5, and 8. Andrew, SGA, I saw a stat saying, in a player's first 2 career games in the NBA Finals, SGA has the most points ever, over Allen Iverson and over Michael Jordan. Shea has 72 points through his first 2 NBA Finals games.
I mean, I think with the way the modern NBA is, that's not necessarily surprising. Not to talk down on Shea at all. Shea is one of the best offensive players we've seen in years. And that's a lot considering what the NBA has recently been. But the NBA, I mean, AI or MJ, I don't think would have done that anyway back then, but just because it's not the way the game was played. But the fact that Shea did that higher than like Jokic, Tatum, Steph,
Shea
LeBron,
was actually only 1 point above Allen Iverson. And Allen
insane.
Iverson did it all the way back in 2001.
That's insane. That's insane. The final scores of games in the 2000s were like 90-something to 80-something. Like, that's actually crazy. Yeah. But no, Shea's been a stud. He had 34 last night, as you said. He's been balling. The Thunder, pretty confident win, 123, 107. That's what I expected for both games, and that's what was happening in Game 1 until they blew it. But, I mean, the Thunder's bench was, besides Shea performing, the Thunder's bench was what caught my eye in Game 2. Alex Caruso with 20 points, and then Aaron Wiggins with 18 points, 5 threes coming off the bench. He had a spectacular Game 2.
I'm really mad that if Caruso's trade price was so low, Brad Stevens wasn't like, hey, let's go make a move at him. Because what did they only give up for him? Josh Giddey?
Yeah, I think they literally just gave up Giddey.
Straight up Josh Giddey?
Definitely a win for the Thunder so far. Because, I mean, Giddey hasn't been that bad, but Caruso coming off the bench doing what he's been doing the last couple of games, I mean, he's been unbelievable.
That's why Sam Presti keeps winning, like, Executive of the Year. Like, this dude just knows how to finesse. He knows how to make good trades.
Presti and Brad Stevens are definitely the smartest minds in the NBA. It's not even remotely close.
I think one of the biggest issues, though, with Indiana was Tyrese Halliburton through 3 quarters only had 5 points. But he finished the game with 17 because he finally somewhat caught fire in the fourth quarter, but there just wasn't enough time left on the clock for it to mean anything for Indiana.
Well, Tyler, there were actually 7 Pacers in double digits in Game 2. It was the starting 5, Benedict Mathurin and T.J. McConnell. Game 1, there were 6 starters with 10+. This time there were 7. But not one Pacer scored over 20 points. So I think they need to find a healthy balance of everyone's participating, but they need someone to kind of lead the way.
Yes,
They need either Halliburton or Siakam to be over 20 if they want to get across the mark. I still love what they're doing, like you said, the power of friendship last episode. I still love how they're all sharing the rock, they're all contributing an even amount, but someone has to contribute more, kind of like what Shea's doing. The Thunder still had, I think, 5 players over double digits. Obviously, Wiggins, Caruso off the bench had 18 and 20, but Jalen Williams still had 19. Chet Holmgren had 15. So the Thunder are also doing their fair share of scoring. Meanwhile, Shea is still leading the way, and that's why they were 68 and 14 in the regular season. That's what the Pacers need to do.
Yeah.
Halliburton needs to step up like he has been all postseason.
And one of the things that Indy can't afford to do, like this was something with the Celtics we saw last year, other than the Indy series actually, even though they still did it. They had a game where they just played awful. But they could afford to do that because the team was so good that they were able to bounce back. Indiana's not nearly as good as Boston was last year, so they can't afford to have another crap game like they just did the other night.
Well, Indy's not even as good as, obviously, the Thunder. I'd say the Thunder are pretty close to last year's Celtics. Indy cannot afford games like that. But I think games like that are expected, but you need to take one, if not both, of these Indiana games. Because I think if the Thunder take both games in Indiana, I think the series is already wraps.
Yeah, if the Thunder get both on the road game, it's over.
Yeah.
Shea's got a ring, Chet's got a ring. It'll be wraps.
So, yeah, that's all we got for the NBA Finals tonight.
Yeah.
Game 3 is tomorrow night at 8:30.
Yes.
I believe 8:30.
8:30 in Indiana.
8:30 Indiana. We'll be tuning into that one for sure. I'm sure all of you guys will be too.
Yep.
And we'll be talking about that instantly because I think Game 3 is going to be a barn burner. I think we got ourselves a good game coming up.
I really hope so. I can't have another blowout.
Well, speaking of Game 3, the Stanley Cup Game 3 occurred last night.
Man.
Panthers took a 6-1 monster victory over the Edmonton Oilers. And actually, we didn't even cover Game 2 of the Stanley Cup because the scheduling's been tough.
Really weird.
Yeah.
Like, he graduated high school. I don't know if anybody knew that.
I did.
Dude casually had to wear like a cap.
I did graduate high school.
So that did happen. So
that was kind of tough to film during graduation.
That got in the way. You had like awards night and stuff and all that.
But it's all over now. We're locked in here now. We're locked in here. But yeah, Game 2 was even better than Game 1, arguably. Game 2 was unbelievable. McDavid, his assists in Game 2 were unbelievable. Draisaitl scored again. Bouchard scored. Skinner and Bobrovsky still were terrible.
That McDavid had in Game 2 was one of the best assists I've ever seen in my entire life. And I think only
absurd.
I think only one player on the entire planet can make a play like that, and he was the one that did it.
It was unbelievable. He worked his way through 3 defenders, then found Draisaitl across the. Oh my God, it was unbelievable, dude. It was so nasty. And then
Marchand, 2 of them things in Game 2.
Marchand had 2 goals in Game 2, including the OT winner. As Bruins fans, we couldn't have asked for a better ending for a Panthers win.
Yep.
Because I think we both want the Oilers to win, but we couldn't have asked for a better way for the Panthers to win.
Yeah.
And yesterday, getting into Game 3, Panthers 6-1 victory. Marchand started the game off with a goal 50 seconds in. There were 6 Panthers who scored yesterday. So they were also each getting their fair share. It was Marchand, then it was Verhaeghe who had a snipe.
Verhaeghe's goal was
disgusting.
Even though I hated it, that goal was really nice.
When the shot first went in, I thought it was far side, but it was close side, probably about 7 inches of space, and he found the hole. I don't know how he was able to fit that in there. That was crazy.
Just happens.
Unbelievable. And then Bennett's breakaway was disgusting. Reinhart had a wide open dish. I think overall just a defensive collapse from the Oilers yesterday. The defense was terrible. Skinner's been playing terrible. The offense, they've been playing good, but the offense isn't going to be able to put up 5 goals every night. That just
I have it
can't
right
happen.
here. Skinner's let up 15 goals in these first 3 games.
That's insane.
That's
insane.
Awful.
Bobrovsky has not been good the first 2 games, but last night he had 32 saves, let up 1 goal. Bobrovsky had a great game last night.
Bobrovsky brought back the devil magic yesterday. He was making some crazy saves. He'd be on his back and he would still catch it in his glove.
But the Oilers were also just playing like a bunch of idiots, dude. They had so many penalties, especially Evander Kane had I think 3 penalties in the first period. That can't happen.
Nope.
They had a too many men call. Corey Perry was on there when he wasn't supposed to be. By the way, of course, he was the one who scored the goal yesterday.
Score the goal, yeah.
Just stupid. He's 40 years old. But yeah, Corey Perry had a too many men call. Kane was getting fights left and right, hitting people with a stick, cross-checking. He was in the box 3 times yesterday, and 2 of them ended up being goals. The Oilers can't afford to play like this because the Panthers are a better team than them.
Yep, I agree with that. I mean, if you're Edmonton, the offense has got to get rolling, but the defense has to be better. You're leaving Skinner on an island most of the time, and sometimes he just commits way too early to the shot, and he's able to get deked by the offensive player, and they just tuck one in on basically an open net.
Yeah, yesterday was the first game where one team was clearly better than the other, just out-talented by the Panthers, really. Yeah, just absolute domination is really all we can describe it. So that's all the coverage we'll have right now of the Stanley Cup and NBA Finals. The Finals Game 3 is tonight. Stanley Cup Game 4 is tomorrow night. We will be covering them, of course, obviously. It's going to be amazing. But we got more stuff on Summing Up. That's not going to do it. Tyler, what do you got next?
Next, one of my least favorite athletes in all of pro sports got cut the other day. Jair Alexander has been released by the Green Bay Packers. He's been dealing with a lot of injuries lately. It's really difficult for him to play an entire season, Andrew. But there's a lot of teams that are really interested in him right now. Some teams that want him are the Dolphins, the Falcons, the Rams, the Vikings, the Niners, the Eagles, and the Ravens. So I think, honestly, any of those teams I think he'd fit really well with. If he went to the Eagles would basically just be running it back because that's the replacement for Darius Slay right there.
Yeah, so you pretty much said it all right there. I think as of right now, the Eagles could still run it back. Their team is still absolutely filthy. Their average defensive age, I think, is 24. And it's not like Jair's old. He's 28 years old. The Packers cut him because they're paying him so much money for him not to play. He's played 14 games in his last 2 seasons. He's missed over 20. And he's also just not a really good locker room guy. He doesn't really bring the morale up at all. I understand why he's one of your most hated athletes. I don't really have any problems with him necessarily.
He's good.
I don't mind the Packers. I've never really hated the Packers. Most people don't like them. I don't mind them.
I don't mind the Packers. It's just Jair. He's good, but he talks way louder than how good he actually is.
I still think he's a stud, though.
He is good, but he's not better than Jalen Ramsey was at his peak. He's not better than a lot of guys.
Not at his peak, no, absolutely not.
He's not better than a lot of guys were at their peak when he was at his peak.
Right now, the Dolphins want to replace Jalen Ramsey with Alexander. That's why the Dolphins are probably currently the highest prospect, because the Dolphins have money to spend. Alexander's there. Ramsey's, his clock's ticking. They got to find a replacement. And Atlanta could potentially sign Alexander. Arthur Blank, maybe work some magic, get Alexander alongside across Terrell. That'd be nice. Awesome, dude, because I already love our secondary. We got Mike Hughes in there. I think Mike Hughes is actually a stud corner. AJ Terrell's a stud. Obviously, Jesse Bates is a stud.
All-pro safety out there.
And then we just got the kid from Notre Dame, Xavier Watts.
You guys still have
beast.
Okuda also? Because he's not terrible.
He doesn't play.
He doesn't play?
No.
I thought he wasn't that bad.
He's not going to make the starting 11.
Just a no?
He's not going to be on the starting 11, no. I would love Alexander to be across Terrell. I think that'd be phenomenal,
really nice,
but we do not have a lot of cap space. I think we got $5 million. So we'd have to work some magic there. I don't see him go. The Falcons are they're a potential landing spot. I don't think it'll happen. I think he goes to either the Dolphins, the Eagles, or the Vikings.
I think any of those could happen. I wouldn't be surprised seeing him in Baltimore either.
Well, that's a good one.
But with Baltimore too, like, what is the last thing that they need to get over the hump? You know what I mean? Like, they've come so close so many times.
Baltimore does have a habit of chasing superstars, though. Like, they've been doing it for years now. I wouldn't be surprised if they do it just because that's kind of what they do.
Yeah, but this past year it worked out pretty well for them, I would say, getting Derrick Henry.
The AFC is going to be so much fun to watch.
It's going to be very good.
The AFC is going to be intense. You got the Chiefs, you got the Bills, you got the Ravens.
Could have the Patriots, you never know.
Maybe you could have the Patriots. The
Never
Bengals
know.
would definitely have a bounce-back year, I would imagine.
I really hope so.
Maybe the Texans have a bounce-back year. Stroud locks in.
I think I could have just saved my coach in the hot seat now. I could have said Zach Taylor.
Yeah, you could have.
If I get it today, that's going to be my pick.
I
don't think I go 3 in a row, though.
Well, speaking of the Texans, we got one more topic here on Sum It Up today. Nick Chubb signs a 1-year, $2.5 million deal with the Houston Texans. Nick Chubb's story is honestly pretty sad, but I'm happy that he got a contract, you know?
Yeah, I mean, 1 year, $2.5 million could be worth up to $5 million if he hits some incentives, but that's just heartbreaking. Nick Chubb's like whole career of what's happened to him so far, like obviously having one of the worst knee injuries like imaginable happen to him, and then having another bad leg injury.
Yeah, he's had 2 bad injuries. His second one being one of the worst injuries in NFL history.
His leg bent like 90 degrees in the wrong direction.
So
it was very
disgusting.
bad, yeah.
It's so disgusting. And Nick Chubb actually talked about his current situation before he signed with Houston, before anyone knew about it. I'm pretty sure he already knew about it. But it was a really humble interview. He was talking about how even though he's 29 years old and running back years, it's 57, and he said that he's just like a tiny drop of water in a fountain of running backs, he knows that there is now younger talent ahead of him, and he knows that teams will definitely pass on him and take the younger talent. That's just how it works.
Yep.
So he's kind of accepted that role of getting limited snaps wherever he can, hoping to make more money, hoping to get more touches, and hopefully remains healthy for the rest of his career. I would imagine Chubb is second behind Joe Mixon.
Probably.
Potentially Pierce. I think him and Pierce will split that second-man role down there in Houston.
But Pierce has had his struggles, so maybe Nick Chubb's going to be more of like a coach for Pierce.
That's why I believe Chubb is going to be second, but then Coach Pierce. I agree with you. I like that. I think Chubb will be second.
It's going to be like a Shaq with Trey Rollins from way back in the Orlando time.
As long as nothing happens to Mixon, which I hope not. I'm a Texan supporter. I really like Houston.
Yeah,
I hope they do well.
I just really hope Tank Dell recovers, even though I don't think he's going to play this year.
No, I don't think so either. Tank Dell's injury was so bad. What was it, like week 17?
It was like one of the final weeks of the year.
Yeah, no, that was tough. So this could be a Nico Collins legacy year. Fantasy football prospects.
Will Nicholson knows Nico Collins, one of the best fantasy draft picks of my entire career.
Yeah, and
Dude was an absolute baller.
We will be getting into fantasy football when the time comes around, because that is one of the most fun events of the year.
Yes, easily.
We haven't talked about what's up, you guys.
Fantasy drafts, like whole atmosphere, like who you're going to start, who you're going to bench, waiver wire after week 1. It's a great time.
Oh, my goodness.
Great time of the year.
So, yeah, we haven't talked about football much yet on this channel, but that's just because it's the driest part of the season you can get.
Like, draft already happened. Like, not a lot of free agency has happened yet.
And there's just more important things going on right now. So, we always talk about football while we can. We will be covering football once it is back. Don't you worry.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's going to do it for Sum It Up. Let's head right into Stock Up, Stock Down. Welcome to Stock Up, Stock Down. You guys know how Stock Up, Stock Down works at this point. We each give a player, team, athlete, coach, anyone who's stocking up and one who's stocking down. So let's get right into it, Tyler. My first stock up, my only stock up, is the San Francisco Giants. They are currently on a 5-game win streak. Their record is now 38-28, 1.5 games behind the Dodgers.
Wow.
They beat the Padres twice to finish out that series. Then they just swept the Atlanta Braves. Now they're 1.5 games behind the Dodgers, and they are now set to play the Colorado Rockies.
Oh, wow.
So that could set them up for potentially an 8-game winning streak to then play the Dodgers.
I don't know. That could get really competitive. You never know. The Rockies in June just turn it around.
Well, the Rockies, since they got that sweep, have now gotten swept. So the Rockies are, I think, back to Rocky.
Never mind.
I think that was a little fun stint there.
Nice little insanity run from the Rockies, but then, yeah.
I would imagine that the Giants sweep the Rockies, which would make it an 8-game win streak. That's why they're my stock up, because they're going to continue to rise over the next couple of days. And then them and the Dodgers are going to be set for a bloodbath series in Los Angeles in 3 days from now, which I think is going to be unbelievable. The Dodgers right now are 40-27, I believe. Giants 38-28. So not far at all. Matt Chapman has been the story of this winning streak so far.
Hit a walk-off the other day.
Yep.
He's been great, but I think one guy for the Giants that needs to turn it up if they want to pass the Dodgers has to be their big money splash in the offseason, Willie Adames.
Well, Adames needs to lock in.
He has not been great.
The fact that they've been playing the way they have and Adames has been playing terrible says a lot about this team because Matt Chapman has stepped up humongously over there at third base.
They paid Adames a lot of money, and his defense is always going to produce, but his bat has been terrible.
And that's something that can be changed. Maybe the Rocky series is where he fixes it. Better time to do it than right now.
Is it going to be in Colorado?
It's in Colorado, yes.
That's the Coors Field is the greatest place to get your hitting.
It's the best place to get your hitting up. Against the current Rockies team, I think the Giants are going to continue to trend up. And once the Giants and Dodgers face off in a couple of days, I think that's going to be an amazing series for potentially first place in the division.
I like that. So I'm going to stick with baseball here for my stock up. My stock up is going to be Denzel Clark of the Oakland A's, the Las Vegas A's now. But Denzel Clark, I believe, already has the Platinum Glove locked up just in the past 3 weeks. Yesterday, I got a notification on my phone saying this is the greatest home run robbery of all time. I went and watched it. Denzel Clark, we'll put it on the screen too. Denzel Clark climbed the wall. You said he had to climb 11 feet, backhands the ball over the wall, and takes away a home run from the Angels. It's easily the most athletic play I've ever seen on a baseball diamond. Craziest home run robbery I've ever seen of all time.
100%. I literally think that was the greatest catch in baseball history, the greatest rob I've ever seen. I actually think he was 11 feet in the air to grab that ball. Obviously, he jumped up, obviously, pretty high, was able to climb the wall, boost himself off the wall, reach back and backhand. Oh my goodness, it was the craziest.
The fact that
like Tyler said, we probably already showed the clip to you guys. The greatest clip I've ever seen. I saw it on my phone last night.
The fact that he backhanded it too, that just made it even crazier.
11 feet in the air, backhanded it in center field. Oh my goodness, that was insane.
Absolutely crazy.
Crazy robberies just happened at the Angels ballpark, man. Mike Trout's done a couple
had
there.
A crazy one. Mookie has had a crazy one. There was a guy I think on the Rays that did one against the Red Sox. That was pretty crazy too.
At Fenway?
Yes, at
Yes,
Fenway.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I forget his name, but that one was crazy also. So yeah, Denzel Clark is my stock up. Guy's been on an absolute tear lately.
Well, not only was that the greatest robbery we've ever seen, the last 3 weeks on MLB Top 10, he's had the #1 play 3 weeks in a row now.
Yep.
Going to be 4, because the week before, he tracked a baseball, I think, 95 feet and then face planted into the wall.
And still held on.
To make that grab, and still held on to it. Right now, I think he's probably definitely the best outfielder in terms of fielding in this league.
Had another one where he climbed the wall the other way, over the shoulder type of grab.
Yep, that was one from the week before. So right now,
absolutely crazy.
The A's are finally finding something bright in their team in Denzel Clark, the first bright spot they've had in years.
Other than Jacob Wilson, he could also be another great stock-up pick too.
Yeah, Wilson's a good stock-up
pick. Kid's leading the league in batting average. He's crazy also. So.
The A's might be stocking up soon. Get ready, because once the Vegas A's are officially here,
they just need to start winning some games, and then
Las Vegas might be the change they needed.
Maybe. It's just they need to start winning more games, and the A's could definitely be up here on the stock up.
So now it's time to get into the stock downs, time to get into the negatives. I'm going to give my first stock down. My stock down is the Sacramento Kings.
Oh, wow.
It's kind of an odd pick, but let me explain.
That one hurts a little bit.
So recently, I saw reports that the Sacramento Kings were openly looking for a long-term solution at point guard.
Oh, I know where this is going.
In the last 2 years, they have traded De'Aaron Fox and Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah, I know where this is going.
2 long-term solution point guards. Now, the Kings just finished the season 40-42. Last year, made it to the playoffs, made the farthest run in Sacramento Kings history. Next year, they're not going to be doing much of anything. 40-42 this year. I imagine they don't do much next year with a team that has an average age of probably 35.
You think, how many people you think from the Kings get traded?
I'm not sure.
DeRozan's gone, I think.
DeRozan might be gone. I think Malik Monk's gone.
Malik Monk's gone. I think you got to get rid of Sabonis.
Because Malik Monk's actually got good value.
You got to get a haul for Sabonis while you can.
Yeah,
that guy should have been an all-star these past 2 years, and he wasn't.
I can't believe he hasn't been.
Because he's in a terrible market. People don't like watching his game, even though he's like a slightly worse version of Jokic, if you ask me. He can just do everything.
So I heard the Kings are currently trying to get either Darius Garland or Trae Young. So I think Garland is untouchable. I don't think the Cavs trade Garland. I think the Kings, if they gave up enough, like you were just saying, if they gave up some of those key players and a couple of picks, might be able to get Trae Young from the Hawks. Because I don't know if Trae Young is all too happy in Atlanta.
I don't think he is
Because
either.
they've been the Dallas Cowboys of the NBA, being 500 every year, missing the playoffs. They always make the play-in, then they lose in the play-in. So they never even have a good draft pick, even though 2 years ago they had the number 1 pick, but that was because they traded for it.
They did, yeah. But they traded for it before the lottery too, which is even crazier.
Yeah, no, it was insane. But like, it wasn't because they were bad.
Yeah.
Like, the Hawks are 500 bad. They're never.
Shay's even like looking pretty good now too.
Yeah, Reese Shea did have a good year. Dyson Daniels is looking good.
Yeah.
So
Dyson
Atlanta
Daniels
could be
very good.
trending up, but I mean, Trae Young's been there for 7 years now. They've done nothing. They had
They
one
made
good
it-
run 5 years ago.
They made it to the Eastern Conference Finals one time. That was it though.
That was 5 years ago, and that was all Trae. So, like,
Yep.
he hasn't had much supporting help at all. So,
I think Trae Young in like a bigger market would really help him.
well, the Kings are not a bigger market.
They're not a bigger
But
market. But
my
it's just
point is the
changes.
Kings.
Put him with Sabonis though. That could be fun.
Yeah,
It's just when they're both trying to fight for that 10th assist, that might get a little
that might get a little
little
annoying.
out of hand. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't understand the Kings. Looking for a long-term solution at point guard. They traded away De'Aaron Fox, who's been their stud for years, and they traded away Halliburton, who is currently having one of the greater postseason runs in recent history
Easily.
for a young
Easily.
kid like him. So, yeah, stocking down on the Kings. Think their future is going to be slim again. Did I just say? I don't think slim makes any sense. Their future is going to be dark again for a good while.
Unfortunately, they had that one magical year where they were lighting the beam, but I don't think the beam's going to get lit a lot more.
I don't think so either, which is a shame because it's fun when they're good, but they never are.
They're never good. Yeah.
So, yeah,
So-
the Kings are my stock down.
Yeah. For my stock down, I'm going to head over to hockey. This one you might have been able to guess from Sum It Up.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Stuart Skinner is my stock down.
Has to be.
15 goals in 3 games. This dude is a certified clown. Like, I mean, not all of it is on him. Some of it's the defense not playing good, but some of the goals that he's letting in, it's just like he's reacting way too late. And, like, you still can't be giving up 15 goals in 3 games, even if not all of them are your fault. That's just unacceptable.
And I don't
To
think
be an NHL goaltender and give up that many goals. This guy either has a shutout or he gives up 5. There's no in between.
and like Skinner hasn't been the best goalie just in general. Like in the regular season, Skinner was never looked at as like an elite goalie. He wasn't an all-star.
Yep.
Like Bobrovsky is looked at as one of the better goalies in the NHL, even though recently he hasn't been very good.
Although-
Skinner is just overall looked at as just not a good goalie. So right now in
Bobrovsky-
the NHL, in the Stanley Cup, it's coming back at him.
Thing is with Bobrovsky, though, he has won, like, the best goaltender award. So
Yeah. I'm saying like right now, like at this point, he hasn't had the best season. Bobrovsky overall has had a phenomenal career.
Yeah.
This year, he hasn't had the best season. Skinner's just
too good.
Skinner's just not that good. Fans don't think he's that good.
Not good. Not good.
So Skinner needs to fix something because I'll tell you what, the Panthers are not going to be slowing down. They're
No,
they're
they're
too
not.
good. The Panthers are going to get opportunities. The Oilers offense will get opportunities. But like the Oilers offense needs to be backed up. Its defense wins championships.
Yeah.
The Oilers put up 5 goals in game 2 and lost.
Yeah.
Defense wins championships, man. Like you can have McDavid and Draisaitl, 2 of the most skilled offensive players in the league, but you need defense to help back it up.
Yeah, you do.
And Bouchard is who needs to get it going back there.
Yeah. He was doing his thing in game 1 on the offensive end, but game 2, like
No
game 2 and game
defense.
3, the defensive end just hasn't like made up for it at all.
I mean, we'll see what happens in Game 4. I got the Oilers winning Game 4. By the way, we got update on the Pick'em results. What's your record?
My record right now is, I think
We're 5 games in. I think I'm 4-1. You're
I think I'm
3
3.
and 2.
I think I'm 3 and 2. Yeah.
So both of those records are going to change tonight because we have a different pick tonight. You have the Pacers,
I have the Pacers in game 3. Yes.
and I have the Thunder in Game 3. So we'll see how that one goes. But yeah, as of right now, Skinner needs to fix it because Edmonton cannot afford to lose Game 3.
They cannot now.
The Oilers need to tie up Game 4 because they could make a legendary comeback. McDavid could have a LeBron 3-1 comeback potentially.
He could, but I don't even want it to get there.
I would prefer a more comfortable 2-2 series tie. So
Me too. Yeah.
Skinner needs to fix it and get himself off the stock down, for
yeah,
sure.
for sure. Right now, Skinner's on a very bad trending path right now.
Yeah.
Not looking good for him. So yeah, that's going to do it for Stock Up, Stock Down. Let's move into our next segment, Would You Rather. Welcome to Would You Rather. Me and Andrew both have picked 2 Would You Rather questions. Andrew, both of mine are going to be basketball today. My first Would You Rather for you is, would you rather start your team with Hornets Chris Paul or Clippers Chris Paul?
Ooh, that's a good one. So I'm starting my team with. Do I know who else is on my team?
Like, if you just need a point guard. Like, right now, it's like you just need to have a point guard. Would you rather have Clippers Chris Paul or Hornets Chris Paul? Because think, Hornets Chris Paul finished top 3 in MVP voting, but Clippers Chris Paul was essentially the prime of his career.
This is tough because Clippers Chris Paul was successful because he had talent around him.
Yeah.
And Hornets Chris Paul did not have much other talent around him, but he was able to produce on his own. So for that reason, I'm going to go with Hornets Chris Paul, the Chris Paul who was athletic enough to windmill it and be able to throw some dunks down, make some shots.
I was going to go Hornets Chris Paul for the same reasoning. Like, do one MVP on almost one MVP on like one of the most poverty teams in the entire league.
Yeah, like their team was terrible, but he was such a stud. And Clippers Chris Paul, he kind of benefited off of prime Blake Griffin and prime DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah.
And Clippers Chris Paul is still a stud. If I had Clippers Chris Paul on my team right now, I'd be ecstatic. But Lob City was not just Chris Paul. Obviously, he had Griffin and Jordan there
He was just the one throwing him.
Clippers Chris Paul was a lot more of a point guard player.
Yeah.
Hornets Chris Paul kind of reminded me of Allen Iverson almost, where he was like a shooting guard point guard, where he was
like the superstar.
He was exactly. So I would take Hornets Chris Paul to start my team because I know Hornets Chris Paul, even if I don't have talent around me, he's going to deliver.
He'll produce,
Clippers Chris Paul is not going to deliver as
I mean, he
successful.
was clutch, don't get me wrong, Clippers Chris Paul, but I think Hornets Chris Paul was like that guy.
And Hornets Chris Paul brought in fans.
He did.
Hornets Chris Paul was a stud.
Brought in fans to it was New Orleans, right, at the time when
New Orleans. New Orleans.
He brought in fans to New Orleans when it was the Hornets. So yeah, give me New Orleans Hornets Chris Paul.
All right, well, I'm happy we agree on that one.
Yeah.
I wish I was around to watch New Orleans Hornets Chris Paul. That would have been fun.
One of the first jerseys I ever had.
That would have been fun.
It's like this big, but it's like a little like New Orleans Hornets Chris Paul.
The first jersey I ever got was a Denver Nuggets Carmelo Anthony. It's about this big, which is kind of fun now that I'm going to Syracuse.
That's awesome, yeah.
Carmelo.
It was destiny.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
So my first would you rather is not really about any sport, but it's more like a personal option.
All right.
Would you rather be the cover athlete for a year on everything, like whatever sport it is, Madden 2K, be the cover of Slam, whatever famous NFL magazine there is, like be the cover of everything, get all those types of deals? Or would you rather have your own signature shoe?
Oh, give me my own signature shoe. I don't want to tear my ACL.
Is that what you're doing? Well, it's only the Madden curse, really.
No, but look at the Celtics 2K cover.
Well,
curse.
yeah, that was
with Garnett and Tatum.
But that was two Celtics. Yeah. That was two Celtics.
Yeah,
curse. The 2K curse isn't really a thing. The Madden curse.
Give me my own signature shoe. I don't want my ACL, my Achilles, my anything to be in danger. Give me my signature shoe. Besides, I'm a big sneakerhead anyway, so like.
Me too.
I think the Tyler Panero ones would be pretty fire.
Well, who would you sign with, Nike?
I would probably sign with Nike, yeah.
I think a Nike would be fun, and then kind of similar, but like Jordan would be fun.
Yeah, or I'd go Jordan Brand too, either one.
I just would not sign with Adidas. Adidas is terrible. I hate Adidas shoes.
At least for basketball shoes, yeah, I wouldn't sign with Adidas.
I would rather sign with New Balance over Adidas for basketball.
For basketball, yeah, because I just don't like Adidas basketball shoes personally.
I also want to talk about quickly shoe logos in general have gotten so bland.
Yeah.
It's really just like messing around with the letters. They got to do something fun like they used to. Have you seen Wembanyama's shoe logo?
The alien?
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty
That
dope.
is one of the coolest shoe logos I've ever seen. Once that becomes a thing, do you know when his shoe is set to release?
No, I do not.
I hope it releases soon because that logo is sick. Because the logo's like John Morant's logo, it's boring. Trae Young, when he was with Adidas, that logo was boring.
Even though it's classic, I might get flagged for this. If you're going on like the basic design, what about the KD logo?
Okay, so I knew you were going to say this.
I love the KD logo just because it's so classic.
It's just it's just classic. If it got released today, everyone would definitely flame it and call it terrible. But because the KD shoes were so fire, like remember like the KD7 on pearls, like remember like how much aura those shoes used to have, dude.
KD4s in general.
Yeah, like the KD logo.
Any colorway of the KD4s.
Like the KD logo is good because of how good the shoes were.
Yep.
But the logo now would get ripped apart if they re-released. Like say
it's like how they redid LeBron's logo. Remember how it used to be the L and then the 23?
Yeah.
Now it's like the crown.
The crown is cool though.
The crown's
I
really
like
dope.
the crown.
That's what I'm saying. Like the L23 logo was dope, but the logo with the crown's like even better.
The crown is even better. I agree. The Derrick Rose one with the rose, that logo is so sick.
That is so fire.
And then obviously MJ's.
I think Luka's is pretty good too.
Yeah.
Because it looks like LD and they're both sevens.
Yeah, no, it's cool. That's what they do a lot now. They use like letters to play on numbers and stuff like that. I think it's cool, but I wish they played into nicknames more.
Yeah.
Also, Kyrie's logo was sick.
Kyrie's logo was fire.
Kyrie's
John Wall's
logo
logo was fire.
John Wall's was fire too. Yeah.
John Wall was an Adidas athlete actually.
He was. Well, John Wall was the toughest recruit ever. So it was he could do whatever he wanted and people would call it sick. All right, I'll let you go.
My second one's another basketball one. Would you rather have 2018 Victor Oladipo or 2017 Gordon Hayward? That's last year in Utah, Gordon Hayward.
Oh, that is such a good question. And I think off rip, I'm going to go with Victor Oladipo. He was so much fun to watch. I think Hayward averaged more points, right?
I'm pretty
than
sure.
Oladipo that
Pretty
year.
sure, yeah.
I'm pretty sure Hayward had better stats, but Oladipo was so much more fun to watch.
Oladipo would put butts in seats, and that's why I'd pick him.
That was the Oladipo that won the dunk contest.
Love the dunks, love the clutch shot making that he had.
My goodness, I loved Oladipo.
How many games was he able to take LeBron? Did they take him to 7 or no?
That was 2018?
Yeah.
I think it was 6.
He took him to 6. Hey, not a lot of people can say they did.
And that was 2018 LeBron, the most snubbed MVP ever. We're not really going to get into it right now because Harden did average 30-something, but
Stephen A, he's averaging 40.
He's averaging 40. But no, 2018 LeBron was, in my opinion, the greatest LeBron ever. 2018 LeBron was better than Miami LeBron.
We'll save that for another day.
We'll save it for later. We'll get into it later.
That's a topic for another day, but yeah. So yeah, I'd go with Oladipo as well.
I would go with Oladipo for sure. I loved Black Panther Oladipo.
Black Panther Oladipo was really
such a stud.
Did he win that dunk contest?
He did.
Or was it Donovan Mitchell that won that one?
No, I thought Oladipo won.
He did win the dunk?
Or did Oladipo just get a 50 from the Black Panther
I think he just got a 50 from
that might be what it was. Oladipo might have just got a 50 from the Black Panther.
It was pretty dope.
Regardless, the Black Panther dunk was sick.
Dunked with the freaking mask on, and you could barely see. That was pretty dope.
I think Mitchell might have won. I think you're right.
So what is your
So anyway, my second one is a football one. Would you rather be a running back who gets tackled by 2013 Cam Chancellor?
Oh, no.
Or would you rather be a cornerback and attempt to tackle Derrick Henry?
Oh, no.
You gotta do one or the other. Which one are you gonna do? But when you're trying to tackle Derrick Henry, he is trying to truck you. And when you're trying to get away from Cam Chancellor, he is trying to hit stick you.
Yeah, let me get hit stick by Cam Chancellor.
Are you serious?
Dude, have you seen what Derrick Henry did to cornerbacks?
Dude, no, Cam Chancellor murdered people, bro.
Did you see what Derrick Henry did to Josh Norman?
I remember it.
Dude, if he did that to Josh Norman, what would Derrick Henry do to me? He basically picked him up and threw him.
No, he did literally pick him up by his helmet.
He's like, you're in my way. Get out of my face. Imagine what he would do to me.
A Cam Chancellor
Dude, I'm like 4 inches shorter and like 20 pounds lighter than Josh Norman.
Cam Chancellor murdered people. If you get hit sticked at the perfect spot by Cam Chancellor, you're not breathing for
dude, I'm going to die either way.
Yeah, no, you're going to die either way. I think I would rather try to tackle Derrick Henry, though.
No, I'm not trying to tackle Derrick Henry. No way.
Just go for the ankles. Cam Chancellor, you're not getting away.
I'm not Cooper DeJean, dude.
Cam Chancellor, you're not getting away, bro. You're getting destroyed regardless. I mean, you're getting destroyed either way.
Yeah,
but there's potentially a way around Henry if you just go as low as possible. Cam Chancellor, you're done.
No, dude, because I don't even think Derrick Henry. I think Derrick Henry would just stomp on me if I went too low. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I think if I could get myself at the right position, getting tackled by Cam wouldn't be as bad. It would still suck. Don't get me wrong, but
oh my God,
I think I'd have to get tackled by Cam Chancellor.
I
think I could avoid the boom.
The Cam Chancellor was the reason they were called the Legion of Boom.
I think I could avoid getting a helmet to the chest. I think he could just form tackle me, and I think I could finesse that. But yeah, I'm not gonna try and tackle Derrick Henry.
I think either way, you're gonna be in one of those here comes the boom minutes, whether we're getting tackled by Cam Chancellor or trying to tackle Derrick Henry. I would hate to do both, but getting hit stick by Cam Chancellor, I think, is probably the most painful thing that could happen.
I would be like a beat drop regardless in an edit, which would suck, but
it happens. So yeah, that was a fun edition of Would You Rather today. That was a fun Would You Rather. Yeah. Would You Rather is starting to. Would You Rather is on my stock up.
Yeah, Would You Rather is stocking up. It's getting better, man. It's starting to heat up for sure.
It's fun, bro.
And now another segment that could start to heat up is coming up next. We got Wheel It Takes.
Let's go. Welcome to Wheel It Takes. Unfortunately, the phone's out. We do not have the wheel yet. I'm just going to stop talking about it. When the wheel shows up, it shows up.
Yeah, when the wheel's here, the wheel's here. So,
yeah. So, the Wheel It Takes, pretty self-explanatory. We spin the wheel, lands on a topic, we give a take about it. Right. As always, Tyler's going to start us off.
Here we go.
So I'm going to spin the wheel. Most underrated.
Most underrated? So it can just be anything?
Anything.
All right.
Who is someone who is severely underrated?
Someone who's severely underrated. Okay. Give me a minute to think about this. Intermission real quick. All right. My call for most underrated is, even though I absolutely love my guy, I think right now, Jacob Wilson is the most underrated and probably the best shortstop in the American League right now, over Bobby Witt Jr.
You think Jacob Wilson's the best shortstop in the AL?
I think Jacob Wilson should get the All-Star starting vote over Bobby Witt Jr. I think Bobby Witt Jr. is obviously insane.
Bobby Witt actually hasn't had the best season.
That's my guy. But yes, Jacob Wilson is playing the best, and I think he's the most underrated player in the league right now.
In terms of fielding or in terms of hitting?
Hitting.
You think he's been the best hitter out of shortstops? I mean, how many
I
home
think
runs does
best,
he have?
other than Judge, but Judge isn't a human, so we're not going to count him.
Judge doesn't count.
I think Jacob Wilson's the best hitter, period, in the American League. Guy is since he had a slump the other day where he didn't get a hit in 3 games. Since then, he's batting 400.
I'm going to take a sec, and I actually want to look at his stats because I have no idea what his current stats are.
So, yeah, Andrew, Jacob Wilson right now is batting .366, has 8 homers, including a 2-home-run game earlier this season, and he has 38 RBIs along with 93 hits.
I think the average is absurd. Having .366 average is absurd, but he's definitely, he has 8 homers, 38 RBIs. That's not bad.
There's one rookie in the history of the MLB, not even just the American League, that's had a higher average to this point of their rookie year. You know who that is?
Who's that?
Ichiro Suzuki.
And Ichiro's Ichiro.
One of the best hitters of all time.
We all know that, obviously, he's underrated 1,000,000%. It's a phenomenal rookie season, but to say he's the best shortstop in the American League is kind of crazy.
Who would you put over him?
I would put Bobby Witt over him.
Bobby's really good. Bobby's awesome. Don't get me wrong.
I'd still put Gunnar Henderson over him.
No. Gunnar has been awful this year. I cannot justify doing that.
I'm still putting
Gunnar.
Gunnar still has a history though. Gunner's just got to wake up.
I'm just saying right now. It's not Gunnar's fault that he's been terrible this year because he had to deal with the injury at the start of the season, but Gunner's not been great. Gunnar has not been great at all. So yeah, Jacob Wilson should be the all-star starter. I think he's criminally underrated. I think baseball fans are starting to see how good he is, but I think the greater public needs to see how good this dude actually is at hitting the ball.
I'm excited to see Jacob Wilson's second half of the season. I'm also excited to see how he continues to trend up because batting .366 in your rookie season is actually absurd.
That's really good.
He's not getting the big hits, not getting home runs yet. 38 RBIs actually isn't bad at all.
He's had a multi-homer game. He hasn't cracked 10 home runs yet, which kind of sucks, but he's on the trajectory. Besides
that though, it's the average, man. Batting .366 through June. Well, not through June. Halfway through June, that's impressive.
Yeah, and he's a good defensive player also.
All right, so now that's a good take.
Appreciate that.
I think he is underrated for sure. Best shortstop should receive the vote. I don't think so.
I think he'll get the starting job, personally.
All right, now it's time for my turn to spin the wheel.
Here he goes.
MLB.
All right.
So we're going to stick with the MLB. I could give a take about the MLB. So let me think about this.
Welcome to the club.
For a split sec. All right. So what I think for my MLB hot take, we're going to go to the American League. We're going to talk about the Cy Young here.
Ooh.
I think the winner of the Cy Young this year is going to be Nathan Eovaldi. He's going to win it over Max Fried.
I don't think either of them are going to win it, Andrew. I think you're wrong here.
Who do you think's
I
going
think
to win?
my guy is going to win it, Tarek Skubal. I think you're just flat out wrong on this one.
I think Nathan Eovaldi's got the 1.56 ERA. His record isn't great. But he's got the second highest ERA in the MLB, and I think he's just going to continue to go up. I think his record's going to improve. I think he'll finish the season maybe 8-3, 9-3, and his ERA hopefully stays around the same, and I think he wins the Cy Young.
That would be nice, but I just think you're flat out wrong here. No. I just don't think that's going to happen. I think Skubal's way too dominant.
Max Fried's over Skubal right now.
No, he ain't.
Yes, he is.
No, he is not.
8-1 record, 1.78 ERA. Yes, he is. Nathan Eovaldi with a 4-3 record right now is my pick for Cy Young by the end of the season.
I like it, but I love having the hot take. I just don't agree with you here.
Now, does the record of the team how much does that influence the Cy Young pick?
Well, let's just think about the people that have won it in the past couple of years, like Skubal and Chris Sale last year.
Garrett Crochet.
Has Garrett Crochet won it?
Last year he won it.
No, he did not last year. He was in the American League. Skubal won it. Last year was Skubal and Chris Sale. So there were two lefties, but it was Skubal and Chris Sale last year. Tigers made a deep playoff run. The Braves kind of blew it.
The Braves blew it, yeah.
But Chris Sale did pretty good.
And Chris Sale's record was absurd.
Robbie Ray won the Cy Young a few years ago did he win it on the Mariners?
Yeah.
Mariners weren't great. So it's more individual.
I think it's going to be Eovaldi.
All right.
Even though his record right now is not the best, Paul Skeens' record isn't the best right now. I still don't think Paul Skeens.
Paul Skeens needs to pack his bags and get the hell out of Pittsburgh.
His ERA is sub-2 and he has a losing record. Paul Skeens needs to get out of there right now.
He needs to get the hell out of Pittsburgh.
I think he will. I think Skeens is going to go to a big market
Pittsburgh has good fans. Their ownership is genuinely the worst in all of sports. So that owner, I don't even want to say his name because one, I don't care enough to know it, and two, he sucks.
Yeah.
Sucks. He's cheap. Him, the Reds owner, a lot of owners, I can go on more about this. We'll do that another time. But yeah, a lot of owners just suck. But yeah.
Yeah, I think Eovaldi's gonna win the Cy Young for the AL. That's my hot take.
Yeah, dude.
That's why it's a hot take.
The water's boiling right now.
Is it going to happen? Probably not.
That's why it's
a hot take. But I still got I got Eovaldi, man. Let's go.
I mean, yeah.
Former Sox.
Let's go. I mean, yeah. I'm all for. If another former Red Sox that was in the same rotation together wins a Cy Young, I would be pretty pissed off. I'm not gonna lie, but that'd be cool.
I hate the Red Sox so much, but I love them, but I hate them.
That'd be pretty dope. But yeah, that was Wheel of Takes. Now we're gonna get into a brand new segment called Who Am I? Welcome to Who Am I? I have picked a current athlete for Andrew, and I have a bunch of hints. I think I have 14 hints for you. No, I have 12 hints for you, I believe. And you picked a current athlete for me. I'm going to give you mine first. You get one guess after each hint. So, Andrew, your first hint is, I have played in the NBA for over 5 years.
Okay, so I'll just go, I could say literally anyone. We're going to go with DeAndre Ayton.
It's not DeAndre Ayton, no. Second hint is, I have played for multiple teams.
Okay. Jimmy Butler.
Incorrect. Your third hint is, I currently play in the Eastern Conference.
Okay. Derek White.
Incorrect. Your fourth hint is, I am from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
You're from Milwaukee, Wisconsin?
Yes.
Ooh, I don't know anyone from Milwaukee besides T-Jazz.
Tristan Jazz?
Yeah.
I'm not Tristan Jazz.
I know you're not T-Jazz, but he is a pro basketball player now, by the way.
He is a pro basketball player.
He's in Canada. That's where he is, right? It's in Canada?
I think so, yeah.
So this still doesn't really do much. So we'll just go OG Anunoby.
I'm not OG Anunoby, no. Your next hint is, I have one NBA championship.
All right. One NBA championship, currently in the East. Am I Kyle Lowry?
You're not Kyle Lowry. Your next hint is, I played in the Big Ten.
Now this is Jordan Poole.
You are Jordan Poole!
There we go, baby. There we go.
Your other hints were going to be, I have been traded. I wear number 13. I play for the Wizards. I was drafted by the Warriors. And then your last hint was going to be, I have one of the best March Madness game winners in recent history.
Yeah, I originally, when you said Big Ten, I was originally thinking, was he on UW? But I was like, no, UW. Like, I couldn't really think of anyone from the 2015 team at that moment. But I was like, Michigan. I was thinking of Michigan State and Michigan first. So I was thinking of players from there. But then I thought of Jordan Poole's on the Wizards, won championship. That was just my first guess.
There you go, yeah.
How many hints is that, 7?
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good job. You did 6. Good job.
Okay.
You did pretty good right there.
Wait, what was your first hint?
My first hint was how long I've been in the league I'm in for.
Okay, yeah. All right. So, my first hint is, I'm just trying to think of how to say this because I want to give you the same type of hints you gave me.
Like the first one I said was, I've been in the NBA for over 5 years. That's how I work.
Okay. This one might throw you off, but I've been in the NBA for over 10 years.
Over 10 years. Steph Curry.
No.
All right.
My current team is in the Western Conference.
Current team is in the Western Conference, 10-year vet. Chris Paul.
No. My current team is in Los Angeles.
Current team is in Los Angeles. James Harden.
No. I went to UNLV for school.
UNLV. Oh, are you... Ooh, has he been in the league for 10 years, though, is the question.
Just throw a guess.
Kawhi Leonard?
No. I am on the Clippers.
Derek Jones Jr.
Yes.
That was going to be my guess before, but I didn't know that he had been in the league for over 10 years.
He's been in the league for 12 years.
That's what got me. Insane? I was going to guess him when I said Kawhi. But
that's why I knew it was going to kind of throw you off. Because
I knew he went to UNLV. That was the thing. But
yeah.
I did not know he'd been in the league for over 10 years.
Because I was researching earlier. I was like, Derek Jones has been in the league for 12 years? He got drafted in 2014, I think. I think that's what ESPN said. I counted the years.
That was 12 years ago. Wow.
Absurd.
I don't like that at all.
Derek Jones has been in the league for 12 years.
I don't like
that.
My
following hints were going to be, he's a forward. He comes off the bench, and he won a dunk contest.
Yeah.
So I think you got it in
I think I got that I think I got that in 4, I'm pretty sure.
I think it was 5. I think you got it in 5.
What was it?
Because you guys Kawhi for.
Yeah, but I said Curry. Oh, no, it is 5, yeah. Because I said
So
Curry,
5
Chris
hints.
Paul, Harden, Kawhi, yeah, 5.
So that was actually pretty good.
That was
from
a pretty
the both
quick
of us.
segment, honestly. I think we got to get deeper in our bag next time we do
Yeah,
that.
I
But I
think we
think
gotta-
that worked out really well.
I think we got to get deeper in our bag and potentially give more hints. But that was really good.
Yeah.
Jordan Poole and Derrick Jones.
Jordan
2
Poole and
NBA
Derrick Jones.
picks.
2 NBA picks.
I wonder if we'll do the same next time.
Who knows?
Who knows? Maybe
Yeah.
we stretch into former players.
Maybe. Oof,
Maybe is that what we do? Do we go into former players?
That could get crazy, but yeah, I like it.
A lot of different ways we could go here.
But yeah,
So that's going to do it for the first ever Who Am I
now it's time for everybody's favorite segment, Andrew. What's that?
on the clock. Let's get right into it.
Oh, yeah.
On the clock.
Let's go.
Welcome to On the Clock. We all know what On the Clock is. We have a draft with a certain topic. Today's topic, Tyler, that I've come up with is the greatest fictional sports characters of all time.
Oh, so
Mostly-
it is just fictional. It's not just movies. Okay.
It's movies, but shows are accepted.
Oh,
like
okay.
movies would be preferred,
Yeah,
but shows
so-
are accepted.
You guys couldn't tell by the start of the episode. I'm wearing a Will Smith jersey from Fresh Prince. He's not going to get drafted today because there's just much better athletes
He
out
should
there.
not be drafted.
But I
today.
figured I'd just wear it, in theme. It's the only one that I have.
Of course.
So, Andrew, I've been blessed with the first pick. in
You
this
have the
draft.
101 here.
So I think I'm going to take the most obvious number 1 overall pick in this draft. Give me Rocky Balboa.
Yep.
I mean,
Who else would you take?
guy's been in like 10 movies. He's literally beaten anybody you can imagine. Any
Yeah.
opponent put in his face, he's beat them. So yeah, give me Rocky 101.
And that's what I expected. I mean, Rocky.
He's just
Great.
like, this dude is not even
Yeah.
a real human, and he has a statue in Philadelphia.
Yeah, literally.
Like,
And
that's
he's-
how goated Rocky is.
And he has the most famous theme song ever.
Yep.
Some of the greatest movies ever. Like everyone knows Rocky.
Great training scenes. Yeah.
Everyone knows Rocky. So in my next pick, it might throw you a little off course. I don't think it should, but it could. So my next pick is a baseball player, fastest player ever. Give me Benny the Jet Rodriguez.
Ooh,
from the
I was going to
Sandlot.
go with that second overall.
Yeah, give me Benny the Jet. PF Flyers became an
Yeah.
MLB player at the end of the movie.
Yep.
Sandlot, one of the greatest sports movies ever. Benny
Yep.
the Jet, one of the greatest
One of the
baseball
greatest-
players in fictional history.
One of the best base runners I've ever seen. In my
One of the
entire
best
life.
base runners.
Kid's got a crazy pair of legs on him. He can do magic on the base path. So that's a good second overall pick there, Andrew. With my second pick, there's a lot of places I can go here. I think number 2, I'm going to go Air Bud.
That's
Yeah.
you mean Buddy?
Yeah, Buddy the
Yeah,
dog.
with Buddy,
Air Bud,
yep.
yeah. I mean, he can do it all. He can play basketball. He can play football.
He really can.
He's like a 5-sport athlete. The guy's an absolute. He's literally an animal.
Yeah, he is
Literally and figuratively,
Literally and
he's an animal.
figuratively an animal.
Yeah.
Gets the game-winning play in every movie.
So yeah, give me Air Bud.
Most clutch player ever goes to Buddy. 100%.
Yeah, give me Buddy from Air Bud. Yeah, second pick, give me Buddy.
That's a valid pick. So with my second pick, we're gonna go over to football. Down in Louisiana in the swamps, we're gonna go with Bobby Boucher.
Good pick.
From The Water Boy.
Good pick.
Alligators got all them teeth and no toothbrush.
I had Bobby Boucher on my list. That's a really good pick.
Bobby Boucher, one of the greatest characters ever, and he is actually a stud. Brings Louisiana A&M
Believe so,
to
yeah.
glory. I think
All
that's the name
just
of the
for the
school.
love of his mama.
The Bullfrogs, love it. You
Great
gotta
linebacker.
love Bobby Boucher.
Kid knows how to lay the hammer.
I think the most fictional jersey I see in real life is Bobby Boucher.
Yeah, it's definitely up there. Like the Mighty Ducks are definitely up there too.
Yep.
That I see a lot. But yeah, Bobby Boucher.
But Bobby Boucher I see all the time.
He's a
Every
big-
time I'm down south.
Big name. All right, you know what? Third pick. Let me go with one of the greatest racers of all time. Give me Lightning McQueen.
Lightning McQueen, I love it.
Guy's got 7 Piston Cups. Could have 8. Could easily have 8. Could have been the first rookie to ever win the Piston Cup. But he chose to be the bigger man. So yeah, give me Lightning McQueen.
I was gonna go with Lightning McQueen right there, but so we don't discuss our picks beforehand.
Yeah,
Like these were our live, genuine reactions to each
Yeah.
other. I wasn't sure if Lightning McQueen was gonna be in play, so I did write him down, but I wasn't sure if he was gonna be in play.
I mean,
I love that you picked it because it's a sport.
When
He races.
greatness is right there, you got to take it.
You gotta
And
take
Lightning
it.
McQueen. Even though Strip Weathers, yeah, Stephen A, don't yell at me. Strip Weathers is great. I think Lightning McQueen, just based off morale, even though they have the same amount of Piston Cups, based off personality, I give me.
Well, but
Lightning
the fact that McQueen did it in such little time compared
did.
to Strip,
Yeah.
Strip played for 30 years. Like
He did play
Strip
for 30
Weathers
years.
he had cups in the 70s and he had
Yeah.
cups in 2005.
Yeah.
He played for 30 years.
30
That's
years. But he
the
only won 7. That's the thing. Like,
He won 7. Well,
He had
I
the
mean,
longevity.
Only won 7
Only won
is
7.
absurd
It's
to
a-
say.
it's
That's
a
the
lot.
second most, tied for first
Tied for
ever.
first, yeah.
Him and McQueen are tied, so
Yes.
that's a lot. And like you could go Doc Hudson, he's got 3, but I think there's just.
he's just a big what-if story.
So
Doc
we
Hudson.
actually are going to stick with racing here, but it's
Okay.
not going to be in cars.
Oh,
if you're
I know
not
who's
first,
coming.
you're last.
Yep, here he comes.
Ricky
Yep.
Bobby.
Ricky Bobby.
Talladega
Great
Nights.
pick from the Will
If
Ferrell
you're not
franchise.
first, you're last. When you said racer, I thought you were going to say Ricky Bobby.
He
and then
was.
you said Lightning McQueen.
Ricky Bobby was on my list, though, but I got to go
Ricky
with
Bobby is going to be my third
If you're not
pick.
first, you're last. One of the best quotes to ever exist.
One of the greatest quotes ever.
Yep.
There's really no explanation, really. It's Ricky Bobby.
Fourth pick. I don't think you even had this guy on your list, and I will gladly take him. Give me Jesus Shuttlesworth from He Got Game.
He was on my list.
He was on your list.
Jesus Shuttlesworth was on my list. I was so close to taking him.
Give me Jesus Shuttlesworth at fourth overall.
Oh my
Ray
goodness,
Allen.
I love it. I love
Kid's
it.
a great shooter. Denzel in the movie as well, playing
I love
his
the
father.
pick.
Yeah, so Jesus Shuttlesworth.
Stud shooter. And
I see Jesus Shuttlesworth jerseys, a fair amount.
I actually do see Jesus Shuttlesworth jerseys a good amount.
give
So
me
that's a
Jesus-
good pick. I was going to pick him at 5, I think. I was going to pick him 4. I was going to pick him at 5.
Jesus Shuttlesworth, He Got Game. Give me him number 4 overall.
Okay, so now, this is so tough. There's so many ways I could go here. A lot of players I want to pick, but right now, oh my. See, I'm going to pick him because I think you'll take him next. I'm going to go with my favorite golfer of all time, Happy Gilmore.
I had
pick
him on
number
my
4.
list, and I was really considering taking him. But you can have the Adam Sandler duo. That's fine. But
Yep,
yeah,
I'll take Happy Gilmore. I thought you were going to pick him. Puts up a stud, wins the major. Adam Gilmore, stud. Happy Gilmore. Did I say Adam
you said
Gilmore?
Adam Gilmore, but yeah, Adam Sandler, Happy Gilmore, yeah.
Happy Gilmore 2. I'm so ready for the movie.
He's just only gonna add to the legacy too.
And have you seen, the really big guy in Happy Gilmore? I forget his name at the moment. The
Oh.
super big dude, the ball's on his foot.
Yeah.
Do you know who plays him in Happy Gilmore 2?
Boban.
Boban.
Yep.
It's going to be such a good movie. It's gonna be like a terrible movie, but it's gonna be just amazing to watch.
Anytime Adam Sandler's on the screen,
it's gonna be so
it's
much
just-
fun to watch.
It's just pure magic.
All right, and here's your
My
your
final
fifth
pick. We might have to add a 6-man, like magically put a 6th guy in this draft.
We'll talk to the committee.
Yeah.
The committee might accept it.
There's a lot of ways I can go here.
Well, the committee might say yes.
All right. Thought about this. I'm going to go to the sport of dodgeball. And I got to go with one of the greatest captains and leaders of all time. He'll do whatever it takes to win. Give me White Goodman from dodgeball.
Great pick.
Great
Great
Ben
pick.
Stiller character.
Yep,
White Goodman.
I had him on my list.
He'll be the voice of my team. He'll lead us to victory. He's got that competitive spirit. My team needs that competitive spirit. So we'll have Rocky and White Goodman leading the charge. Give me White Goodman.
I was thinking of
final
Goodman
pick.
for like my 6th man if we were gonna do a 6th man. I think you know what? I say we do a 6th man.
We'll do a 6th
The
man.
committee has
The
decided there's a
committee
6th
votes
man.
6th man, yep.
In the studio over there, they decided 6th man, so
Yep.
that's what we're gonna do.
All right.
I was gonna pick him for 6th man. I love the pick though. I mean, Dodgeball, one of the greater movies that's ever been made.
Yeah, easily. So good.
So yeah, that's a great number 5. And for my number 5, this is really tough, but I think I'm gonna go with one of the better fighters to ever exist. Not exactly Rocky, but we're gonna go with the son of Apollo Creed. We're gonna go Adonis Creed.
Okay.
Here at 5. Adonis Creed.
He's been proving himself lately.
He has proven himself. The Creed movies are so good,
yeah.
and Adonis Creed has proven himself
Yes.
in the recent movies.
He's been doing very well. I think Creed 4 is probably on the way pretty soon.
I would imagine so. Creed 3 was great.
Creed 3 was really good. I liked Damien as the antagonist.
I hated Damien. I'm not gonna lie to you. I despise Damien.
If you despise Damien, that means he was doing his job as the actor to make you hate him.
That's why he was a good
That's
antagonist.
what I'm
'cause
saying. I liked
exactly.
him as an
He
antagonist.
did a good job making you hate him.
He pissed you off so much.
Yes.
That's what's so good about
He was a
him.
good antagonist. But yeah, Adonis Creed is better than Apollo Creed. So that's why I'm going to take him
Yeah.
over his father. I think Adonis definitely better than Apollo. I
Apollo's
think
great, don't get me wrong.
in
but
the Rocky timeline, not really franchise, but in the Rocky timeline, I think it goes Rocky and then Adonis.
I'd say it goes Rocky then for just power and skill.
Well, just like how good.
I would
of
put
an athlete they are.
I'd put Drago at second.
And Drago was who I was thinking. I was debating Drago, but Adonis Creed. I think he's just.
He took
more
down
legendary.
younger Drago, but I don't know if he could hang
I
with
would-
older Drago.
I mean, Adonis won, man. I'm gonna go with Creed.
All right, so with my 6th man pick, I'm gonna go with one of the most statistically great fictional athletes from The Natural. Give me Roy Hobbs.
Yeah, that's a
Roy
good
Hobbs
one.
statistically is the best athlete in all of fiction.
Statistically, yeah.
Statistically, Roy Hobbs is one of the greatest baseball players to ever live.
No, he's not necessarily when you think of a fictional athlete, he's not the first guy you think of. But in terms of performance,
Performance,
one of
dominance.
the best to ever do it.
One of the best to ever do it.
So with my 6th man, I'm gonna stick with baseball, and I'm torn between 2 from the same movie. So I'll tell you this right now: it's from Major League.
Okay, I had someone from Major League on my list, actually.
So I'm debating which way to go. And because I said Benny the Jet earlier, I'm going to take Ricky Vaughn Wild Thing
I had Wild Thing.
from Major League. I was thinking of Willie Mays Hayes, but we already have speed. We already got Benny the Jet.
Best
I would go
walkout
Willie
song.
Mays, but we're going to go with Ricky Vaughn. After the game, I'm going to pick out a pair that's more me.
Other than
Glasses.
Other than Enter Sandman, I think Wild Thing's best walkout song out there.
Wild Thing, man.
So yeah, my
Ricky
team.
Vaughn, one of the greatest pitchers to ever do it.
Yep.
In the sports, in the fiction sports world.
Great bounce back to get the Indians to the playoffs. Absolutely.
So yeah, I'm happy I took Ricky Vaughn over Willie Mays Hayes, even though it hurts.
Before we get into the finals, I wanted to say some of the honorable mentions that I didn't pick.
Of course, yeah, I'll say mine too.
We got Troy Bolton on here, Calvin Cambridge, even though I know he's not really a favorite around here. Forrest Gump and Ivan Drago.
Yeah, Drago and Forrest Gump are on my list too. I got Forrest Gump on there.
Because Forrest Gump's just more speed.
Yeah, I have Adam Banks from the Mighty Ducks.
Good pick.
Stud. I also have Charlie Conway, but Charlie Conway, man, Adam Banks is a better hockey player than Charlie Conway.
Yep.
I also had Jesus Shuttleworth on my list. I had Shooter McGavin. But
McGavin, yeah.
I decided to take Happy Gilmore.
Shooter McGavin's just a generational loser, so.
He is. Happy Gilmore defeated McGavin. McGavin peaked. He's done now, man. McGavin peaked. I also had Billy Hoyle in mine.
Good pick.
A lot of ways I could have gone there, but I had a lot of Major League on my list.
Yeah, you
but
have a lot of Major League.
Ricky Vaughn, I think, is the best player from
Most
Major
clutch,
League.
for sure.
So now let's go over our rosters.
So I had Rocky Balboa, Airbud, Jesus Shuttlesworth, Lightning McQueen. Who else did I have? White Goodman and Roy Hobbs.
I think Rocky automatically brings the team up.
I think the order was Rocky, Airbud, Lightning McQueen, Jesus Shuttlesworth, White Goodman, Roy Hobbs.
I think Rocky is probably the greatest prospect in on-the-clock history so far. I think the best 101 pick is probably Rocky.
30 years
in all
of dominance.
4 on-the-clock drafts, I think Rocky is definitely the most hyped-up prospect from,
He's like
from
the
fans.
LeBron of on-the-clock prospects,
Yeah,
I'd say.
so far, you knew Rocky was going 1. All the other
We all
ones,
knew Rocky was
there were
going 1.
debates, but Rocky is just.
I think
number 1.
think Rocky was a more consensus 101 than Do You Believe in Miracles? And
I agree.
It can be very close because they're both so iconic.
Well, Do You Believe in Miracles is like, I would say,
that's like
a Wemby.
That's a
type
Wemby
of pick.
type
Yes,
of prospect.
and LeBron is Rocky in this situation.
Yeah.
So Rocky, greatest number 1 pick so
Ever.
far in the history of On the Clock. My team, I've got Benny the Jet, Bobby Boucher, Ricky Bobby, Adonis Creed.
You had Happy Gilmore as well.
Happy Gilmore, and Ricky Vaughn.
Ricky Vaughn. I think we both have great 6-man rosters.
I think we
right
have some
there.
stud teams.
I think this is the closest a draft has ever been.
Yeah.
Between the two of us, because
100%.
I've got a lot of leadership over on my team. We've got 2 great captains. We got Rocky, who can motivate anyone to run through a brick wall if need be, and we've got White Goodman, who will do whatever it takes to beat the other team.
And I've just got athleticism and just pure determination. I would say the biggest leader is probably Ricky Bobby.
Yeah.
And he's even not that much of a leader. He's got determination.
He's got determination. He'll fire you up in the locker room.
Yeah, exactly. He's got that type of leadership.
And we've also got some insanely clutch players, too, on my team. We
Yeah.
have Buddy the Dog, and we have Roy Hobbs.
Well, Buddy is probably the clutchest player
Clutch
ever.
player in the league.
How many game winners? He has more game winners than Halliburton.
I think so, yeah.
Buddy has more game winners than Halliburton.
Clutchest player in the entire league right now.
Well, I just got a bunch of motivators. Like, you already know Ricky Bobby's going to be telling Bobby Boucher Gatorade's better, and it's just, I don't know. I think my team's probably low-key going to fight in the locker room, but once they get out there, they're just going to want to kill whoever's out there.
Yeah, I think
your team is much more proper and sophisticated.
I think
my
the
team is just a
internal
bunch
beef
of
will make them all play better.
My team's just a bunch of crazy people that are all going to team up together and win.
I love it.
Because Benny the Jet, so much determination. Ricky Bobby, so much determination. Bobby Boucher, he'll just literally kill anyone.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, we couldn't have asked for a more even matchup here.
Yeah.
So let us know who has the better team.
Yeah, let us know who's the better team. Do you prefer like the leadership side or the crazy side to just, go out and hurt people?
Yeah.
Let us know.
Sometimes the Bounty Gate, the New Orleans Saints, they won the Super Bowl. So maybe.
That's been the 4th episode of the Sports Wire.
Yeah.
Great draft today.
We're starting to fly through these. That's already 4 episodes.
Elite topic today on the draft, I will say.
Yeah.
Thank you guys a lot for watching. Give us some ideas for new segments in the comments. We'll read them. And have a great day.